Welcome back to McNulty's Book Corral. Today we're talking about The Spider, one of my favorite pulp fiction heroes, and I'm going to try and do a better job with this episode than I did with the Doc Savage episode, in the sense that I will try to make it shorter instead of babbling incoherently for 29 minutes. So let's see how I do. First off, The Spider #1, which was written by R.T.M. Scott. This is a October 1933 reprint. You can find on Amazon, and they are republished by Altus Press. And that's the first one. I'll have these held up. And then we have the second one, which was also by R.T.M. Scott. So the first one was The Spider Strikes. This was really interesting. I'll talk about the plots and the writing in a minute. And then we have The Wheel of Death was #2. And then we have... I have more of these. I'm just showing you a few. There's other editions. #3 was Wings of the Black Death. Don't you just love pulp fiction titles? Okay, so let's talk about The Spider in relation to the pulp history. The Spider magazine, the pulp magazine, ran from 1933 to 1943. It was created by Harry Steger, the publisher. And the first two were by R.T.M. Scott, who was born in 1882, and he died in 1966. After that, Norville Page took over the series and did most of the Spider novels. Norville Page, 1904 and 1961. Norville Page is one of the all-time great writers of adventure fiction. That is not unusual to hear a statement like that when you're talking about pulp fiction heroic characters. The Spider, Doc Savage, The Shadow, which is coming up next, and so many others. Norville Page wrote other types of things too. I may cover him later. So who is the Spider? The Spider is Richard Wentworth. He has a girlfriend named Anita Sloan, and his right-hand man is an Arab named Ram Singh. And the stories are fantastic. The Spider is the type of character who... He can wear a mask. He has a great physical ability. This is not unusual with pulp heroes, and he has guns and gadgets and things and secret hideouts and all of that. All of those tropes and motifs and plot devices that you get with the other pulp heroes are always evident, generally evident in the better stories. The thing about the Spider novels that I really like is the fact that the police commissioner and other characters, the police department, all suspect Richard Wentworth of being the Spider. So in just about every book, he's under suspicion. And in every book, he gets away with it, and they can't connect Wentworth to the Spider. The Spider is a nasty character when he wants to be. And so those plot devices that's a staple in the series. Over time, if you read a lot of them, and these editions, I don't know how many they have on Amazon. I have more, and I have more on my wish list. There's tons of them on Amazon. Let's say you read 10 in a row. You're going to start to tire of some of the same types of tropes and plot devices that you read over and again. Here, Richard Wentworth again is being accused of being the Spider. Will he get out of it or not? And will he foil the plans of evil men? Well, the answer, of course, is yes. But what makes them exciting is Norville Page. Look up Norville Page. I'm sure he has a wiki page of some type. Norville Page is, to me, he's one of the greats. I just love his action. Like Lester Dent, Norville Page, these are two guys that knew how to piece together a fast-paced, action-packed tale. Walter B. Gibson, coming up soon, is yet another one. It's a master class in adventure fiction writing. That's why the pulps are popular. I really like the Spider. Equally to Doc Savage, whom I talked about at far too many minutes the other day when I did that episode. And sorry, I do have a tendency to babble on. And anyways, the Spider is worth your time. So if you're interested in the Spider, go on Amazon and you can read any of these. There is Bain Books put out Spider of City of Doom. I'll have a scan of that. It features the City Destroyer, the Council of Evil, and the Faceless One. Usually, some of these I'm going to show you have 3 books in one. This is an older paperback, which was, I think, 29. By the way, Jim Steranko did the cover. You know who Jim Steranko is. I know you know who he is. One of the greats. 2008. So I've had this one for a while. And then we have, this is another Baen Books, which is a larger size. This is the Spider Robot Titans of Gotham. 3 more featuring robots. Satan's Murder Machines, Death Reign of the Vampire King, and the Octopus. All of these are, I believe all 3 of those are also available in individual editions, and I believe this book is still in print. And this is also, I believe, a Steranko cover. Why wouldn't it be? Jim Steranko, what an all-time great modern writer. He is still out there doing fantastic work. This was 2007, so we have the 2007-2008 Baen Books. So in other words, what I'm telling you here is that the Spider is easy to find on Amazon. If you're interested in delving into pulp fiction heroic characters for the first time, you can easily do that. And then we have my favorite. This is Ace of Aces books, and this is the Spider versus the Empire State. Norville Page at his best. This features the city that paid to die, the Spider at Bay, and Scourge of the Black Legions. So Norville Page was quite prescient in writing this. They said it couldn't happen here. I'm reading the back. The Party of Justice swept into office, rewriting the laws of New York State overnight to benefit their criminal backers and make slaves of its people. This American Reichstag gave itself sweeping powers and raised a private army to exert its malevolent will. Does that not sound like he's foreseeing the future here without realizing it? This is an accident of history. Norville Page writing his fast-paced adventure tales. Just amazingly fun. I use that word fun a lot because we don't hear it enough in our culture today for a lot of reasons. I'll be addressing some of those reasons in a future episode and talking about my personal experience with those types of people. But I'm trying to keep the tone light here. The other aspect of pulp heroes that I'd like to talk about, and I talked about this with Will Murray, is Will Murray is currently writing The Spider New Stories. And here we have I believe this was his first one, which was the Doom Legion. I just really, really enjoyed this book tremendously. Once again, you get the robot type thing going on. And then you have Operator 5, who was James Christopher. Operator 5 pulp reprints are also available on Amazon. If you're interested in that type of thing, please check it out. I don't know if I'll cover Operator 5. I do like the character. The character Operator 5 reminds me of that character Ronald Reagan played in those 4 Secret Service movies in the late 30s, and I forget the name of the character. I have the set. It came in a box set, the Ronald Reagan. I like Ronald Reagan. Was a much better actor than anyone ever gave him credit for. His movies are highly entertaining. Take a look at a film he did called Hong Kong. Really great. Or Law and Order, a Western. Anyways, Operator 5 reminded me of that character. And then there was a group known as G8. This is also available. So the pulp revival continues. There are so many facets to the pulp fiction era. So the Doom Legion is out there. And then we have, let me set that down. And then we had one, I don't know if Fury of Steel was next. I also enjoyed this. I just read this past summer. Really enjoyed it. And the Fury of Steel, I'm starting to babble again, was 2021. And then Scourge of the Scorpion was great cover artwork on here, by the way. Scourge of the Scorpion was 2022. So we have all of that. Cover art by Gary Carbon on this one. And take a look at this. It's fantastic. Right in keeping with the original style of artwork for the pulps, which is fantastic. And then Fury of Steel, I think, was the same guy. Yeah, Gary Carbon, I think he did them all. And excuse me while I lean over and show you the top of my bald spot, which is hidden by a hat. And let me show you. Oh no, this is Joe DeVito. I love Joe DeVito as well. So great stuff. Will Murray currently has a 4th Spider novel on the market. It just came out a few months ago. I don't have it yet. It's in my wish list. I just need to get there to get it. Maybe I'll just cover it as a single book when I get it. So Will Murray is a fantastic writer who is keeping some of these pulp traditions alive. And that's it. And there is, just to give you an idea, Girasaw Publications, who reprinted the Doc Savage and the Shadow in these large size, put out a double Spider. This was number 5, which is Builders of the Black Empire and Satan's Shackles. And this is a facsimile with the original artwork and so forth. These other books, such as this has some of the original artwork, but it has a new typeset, and so do the others I showed you from Baen. So lots of information I threw out at you. I hope this is a little shorter than the last one where I babbled on. Anyway, with all of that said, I hope you enjoyed this retro look back at some of the great pulp heroes. And in the meantime, I'll see you soon with another riveting episode where I'll try to keep my mouth shut more than I keep it open. Stay well. Stay happy, feed your brain. Read a book.